The other thing about the thermostatic control for the heating temperatures in of this furnace is it is also sits on the Wi-Fi. And by sitting on the Wi-Fi, you can download an app on your phone. You can access that app and control the temperature of the cabin. Now, the unit that's right in the great room area, the thermostat, will control this main furnace. I also like to know what the temperature is out in the family room bunkhouse area. The heat from here doesn't reach all the way out there because it just wasn't the way that the guy built it. So there are two Toyo stoves that are out in one in the family room and one in the bunkhouse that actually operate independently of each other and of this main system. I have another thermostat out there that does not control those because Toyo stoves does not have remote capability at this time. They may have at some point. So you either set them on and for what temperature or schedules you want, or you just turn them off. It's kind of up to you. But I have that other thermostat on the wall out there, not because it controls anything. I have it out there so that I can look at my phone and say, oh, what's the temp? You know, I'm in Wasilla or I'm somewhere else. What's the temperature in the cabin right now? Well, the main cabin is 72 degrees or 70 degrees. What's the temperature out in the family room? Ooh, the family room is 20 degrees. Very cold. So maybe I want to do something with that. I will tell you most of the time the temperature is in the 40s, but it with no heat whatsoever. I usually keep the bunkhouse door shut in the wintertime if we're not using it, and that Toyo stove there off. And then I put the Toyo stove in the family room to a very low setting just to keep it from like freezing out there. Those two Toyo stoves run off a 300-gallon tank just outside the wall, and that would be on the east side of the cabin where the wood shed is at and that big Connex box. That round one sitting up is a 300-gallon. The oil tank for this one is the 1,000-gallon. That one is behind the greenhouse all the way in back. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this furnace now. The furnace, basically you saw that I reached over here when it was making noise. So this is the main kill switch for the furnace if you want to just shut the furnace down because you're opening up, you just want to service. So that will take the power away from it. I will tell you that there are very few things that go wrong with this, but essentially what happens is this valve right here is the on-off valve for the oil feed to the main unit. Oil comes in, it is filtered through this filter can right here, and then it comes through this line up into here, and then it's fed on the other side of the pump into the injectors. So this will spray oil and air mix into the firebox inside. It's very easy to get into the firebox. There's two screws back here that you can lift and look. And you can also, by taking this nut down here off and on the other side, you literally can take out the whole unit. This thing, what happens is it'll spray the oil into the air. There's a high voltage transformer that will send a spark out there. It sparks and the firebox fires off. And of course, then after it's heated up, then the fan at the very bottom will, which I can show you, I guess. The fan at the very bottom then will kick on. This is the brains for the firing order of this stove. So basically what happens is the stove, when it has a demand for heat, it's going to open up the valves to allow the oil to come in. It's going to start running the pump. It's going to get the fan going. It's going to check that through an air vane inside to make sure that the fan's blowing okay. And then when it's hit through its time, then it will spray the oil in, arc the points that are in there. And I guess it's just one point that comes off of the nozzle. Fire the box. The box fires. When that happens, then the fan will turn on and then push the hot air up. If that cycle doesn't happen, if it discovers something's not going on correctly, it will not fire. And this button right here will trip. It'll pop up. So if you turn on, it's cold in the morning, and you turn on the heat, for example, and let's say it doesn't fire, meaning you don't hear you hear the fans come on, but you never get any heat out, and it might smell a little oil, it might smell like oil or something. Well, the first thing you want to do is come down, take this door off, come over here and check this button. All right. And then stand here and watch. You can hear it go through the process. And then you'll kind of hear a whoosh when the fire goes. But you can also come right down here and you can look right into the hole to see if the fire is going. Now, I will tell you, there's underneath this transformer right here, there is a small optical device down there. And essentially what it does is it looks into the flames to see bright flame. And if it sees bright flame, then it says we're good to start. Sometimes, if you have an oil-fired furnace that isn't burning clean, it'll get black soot on there after a period of time. And it can't see the flame because the glass face on it's dirty. So literally you lift this up, flip it back, clean it off with a cloth, pop it down, and the problem is fixed. I can tell you, since I took over this furnace 9 years ago, I maintain it very, very well. And as a matter of fact, the guy that came the other day checked it. He says one of the cleanest oil fireds he's ever seen. So that being said, it's important to stay up with it, and that's just a common thing with lifting this up and cleaning the optical sensing device down there is one of the things that can happen. And I will tell you, it's very rare, but pushing this button will cause it to go into a cycle again and fire up. Now, maintenance wise, I would have it serviced. If you're not comfortable working on oil-fired furnace, I would have it serviced each season. So the season is basically the winter when this thing's going to get its workout. And they do, the company, you have the receipt, that company, very, very good company. Recommend them highly. That's a 28-point check that they do in here. The filter for that oil can right there, and the paper filters, there should be some extra in the back. If there's not, you just want to open that one up. I think it's a 16 by 20 filter. I wouldn't spend a lot of money to get expensive ones. I would get just a 3-pack or a 4-pack or even a 5-pack of the 16 by 20s, I believe it is. You can look on the edge of that and see what it is. Yeah, it's a 16 by 20 by 1 inch. So, hold on a second here. In terms of oil filter maintenance, if you loosen that and you pull that down, you can replace that. I do have replacement parts up here. So one thing, side note about the shop will provide a lot of parts here. So these are the oil filters here. There's a couple different kinds. I have both kinds here. There's a cloth and a foam kind. Both will work. but specific parts. So having them here at the cabin saves you from ordering them, and then saves you from paying for them. Okay. So, what am I forgetting? Anything at all more on the furnace? The main cutoff for the furnace is